this video, we're going to take a look at some right triangle trig, just your beginning right triangle trig definitions for sine, cosine, and tangent, which would either be found in a very beginning geometry class or a very beginning trig class. All right, so you must have a right triangle. If you have a right triangle, then we can define each of the sine, cosine, and tangent values by their sides. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. Okay, so the way we label the sides will be dependent upon where our theta is. Now, the hypotenuse, which is this side right here, is always the hypotenuse because that's just, I'm going to abbreviate there, that's the hypotenuse of the right triangle. It's always across from the right angle. Okay, now your theta could have been down here in this corner where I placed it, or it could have been all the way up here. Okay, it's going to, the angle that you are trying to find will be one of these two angles. It will never be that right angle. All right, now if this is my reference angle or the angle that I'm working with, then I'm going to think of the side, the crossed from it, as the opposite side. I'm going to then think of the side that is adjacent to it being this way. Now, is the hypotenuse adjacent to it as well? Yes, it is, but it's called the hypotenuse. I can't call it the hypotenuse and the adjacent side. So that means this side then has to be the adjacent side. So the opposite and the adjacent sides will change on your triangles based on where the reference angle is placed. All right, now once you have them all labeled, then it's just a matter of using the formulas. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so to help remind myself here, I'm just going to use an O and an H. All right, well, my opposite side is 6. My hypotenuse is going to be 10, and so then I need to reduce to lowest terms. We'll divide by 2. That's going to give me a 3/5. All right, doing the cosine is going to be the adjacent side over the hypotenuse side. So again, I'll use the first letters there just to help me with the formula. Okay, so I want cosine of the theta angle, so I need the adjacent side, which we've labeled as 8. And again, the hypotenuse is 10. We're going to want to go ahead and reduce that to lowest terms, so we'll divide by 2, and we'll get 4/5. Doing our last one here, tangent, our definition is opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to use those letters to help remind myself of the formula. I'm going to do opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to come back up here. I had labeled the opposite side as 6. I had labeled the adjacent side as 8. I'm going to go ahead and reduce that to lowest terms, divide by 2. I'm going to have a 3/4. So you should always definitely reduce to lowest terms. No really reason to go to a decimal or do anything like that. Those are pretty 3 straightforward sine, cosine, tangent values when you have a right triangle and you know the sides of the triangle. Again, very beginning geometry, very beginning trig. Definitely thanks for watching. If the videos are helping, please share with your friends so they can benefit too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks.